Hi everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making Puerto Rican carne guisada, or a meat stew. It's similar to a sancocho, which is another type of meat stew, but this one doesn't really have that much vegetables involved, and it's a little bit easier and faster to make. So if you want to see how we make this, please keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that you need for the meat stew is meat. You want to get stew meat in the grocery store. It's a very specific type of meat. I'm using 1 pound. You're gonna get the meat and it'll usually come cubed, but you wanna make sure that it's the sizes of the cubes are reasonable. They're usually really big cubes. So what I like to do is cut them into smaller cubes. And then I'll go ahead and I'll season it using some adobo. I'll usually use about 2 tablespoons of adobo to season a pound of meat. And then I'll let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then after that, this is something that a lot of recipes leave out. You want to boil the meat for about 35 to 45 minutes. You really don't want to skip that step. I know a lot of recipes do skip that step, but you don't want to do that. That helps soften the meat and just make it really tender. And it gets it to the point where you don't need a knife when you're eating your stewed meat with your rice. Yeah, we accompany this with rice. So the whole idea is that you can just grab your fork, kind of grab a piece of meat, grab some rice in there, and just eat it, and it should be falling apart. There's no need for knives. But if you want that, you have to make sure that you soften your meat. Other than that, the ingredients are pretty straightforward. They're very Puerto Rican cuisine ingredients, all things that I frequently use on my channel. So we're starting off with 2 carrots, and you want to cut these into rounds. We're using 2 cloves of garlic, mashing them in the pilon with some adobo. We have 1 potato cubed. We're using about 2 to 3 tablespoons of chopped onion. Of course, we have our sazon. We have adobo. We're using some red wine vinegar. We're adding bay leaves, olives, salsa or tomato sauce, a cube of beef seasoning, we might use this, and 2 tablespoons of sofrito. So all of these are ingredients that I frequently use on my channel. If you have any questions about where to find certain things, usually Hispanic markets are the place to go, but I've been seeing a lot of more Hispanic things at Target. I'm in Chicago, so also Mariano's and Jewel. They have a lot of variety. I've actually been pretty surprised. I also want to mention that I saved 3 cups of the water where I boiled the beef. So I'm not entirely sure I'm going to use the cube of beef flavor. We might need it, we might not. We'll taste as we go, but I went ahead and I saved some of the water from the boil, and this water is seasoned, so we might actually not need that other cube. This is also something that a lot of recipes leave out, so then you need to use those cubes to flavor things. But yeah, we boiled our beef, so we have this beef broth. Well, we're ready to get started. I'm gonna zoom in and show you how I put everything together in the pot. This is pretty much after you boil the beef, just tossing everything together, bringing it to a simmer, and then letting it simmer maybe for 30 minutes, and it's done. After we put everything together in the pot, we just want to keep an eye on the potatoes and carrots. We want them to be tender, but we don't want them to fall apart and turn into mush in our stew. We actually want them to keep their shape, and we want pieces when we take spoonfuls and serve our plate. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, we're done. You just saw how easy this was to put together. My camera is about to die, so I'm wrapping up pretty fast. But pretty much you saw me put everything in the pot, bring it to a boil, then reduce it to a simmer, and just essentially wait until the carrots and potatoes were tender. And that's it. I tasted for seasoning. The seasoning will be up to you. Again, as you cook, taste it, and if you feel like it needs a little bit more seasoning, maybe add a little bit more adobo. But that is pretty much it. I made some rice, I made some beans. Yes, Puerto Ricans, we pair meats and stews also with beans. So I have rice, beans, and the carne guisada. And I am ready for dinner. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. I'll include a picture of my plate in the end. If you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you're not, but you're enjoying the videos, I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Bye.